Welcome to Night Empires. Before we begin tonight's journey, take a moment to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment telling us which country you're listening from. Now, find a comfortable position, relax your shoulders, and allow the noise of the day to slowly drift away. Tonight, we leave behind the busy cities, the crowded roads, and the familiar landscapes of the surface world. We are traveling to a place that covers most of our planet, yet remains one of the least understood regions on Earth. A place of darkness, silence, and mystery. A place where strange creatures drift through black waters, where mountains rise higher than the Alps, and where valleys plunge deeper than any canyon on land. Tonight, we begin our journey into the deep sea. For most of human history, the oceans were places of wonder and fear. Ancient sailors could only see the surface. They watched waves rise and fall, storms gather on distant horizons, and ships disappear into the unknown. Beneath the water, however, was a world nobody could truly understand. The ancient civilizations of Egypt, Greece, China, and Rome all depended upon the sea. They sailed across it, traded through it, and built empires around it. Yet they knew almost nothing about what existed beneath the waves. Many believed enormous sea monsters lived in the depths. Others imagined underwater kingdoms hidden far below the surface. Without technology, there was simply no way to explore the dark world beneath the oceans. For thousands of years, the deep sea remained one of Earth's greatest mysteries. Even as humans crossed deserts, climbed mountains, and mapped continents, the ocean floor remained almost entirely unknown. The reason was simple. The sea protected its secrets well. As a person descends deeper into the ocean, the environment changes dramatically. Sunlight begins to fade, temperatures fall, pressure increases. The deeper one travels, the more hostile the environment becomes. Long before anyone understood these conditions, many scientists believed life could not survive in the deep ocean. The darkness seemed too complete. The cold seemed too severe. The pressure seemed impossible. Some experts argued that the deep sea must be a lifeless desert. They imagined an empty world of mud and silence stretching across the ocean floor. For a time, this belief was widely accepted. Yet nature had a very different story to tell. During the 19th century, scientists began taking a closer interest in the oceans. New technologies allowed researchers to lower instruments into deeper waters than ever before. When these devices returned to the surface, they brought unexpected discoveries. Strange animals appeared in fishing nets. Unusual creatures emerged from depths where no one thought life could exist. Each discovery challenged old assumptions. Slowly, scientists realized the deep sea was not empty. It was alive. And the more they explored, the more mysterious it became. The ocean itself is immense. Covering more than 70% of Earth's surface, it dominates our planet. From space, Earth appears blue because of the oceans. Yet despite their enormous size, much of the underwater world remains unexplored even today. In fact, humans have mapped the surfaces of distant planets and moons with remarkable precision. Meanwhile, large areas of our own ocean floor remain only partially understood. It is one of the great paradoxes of modern science. The greatest unknown region on Earth is not hidden in a distant galaxy. It lies beneath the waves. As exploration continued, scientists discovered that the ocean is divided into different layers. Near the surface, sunlight fills the water. Fish, Dolphins, whales, and countless other forms of life thrive in this bright environment. But as depth increases, light gradually disappears. The ocean becomes darker and quieter. Eventually, sunlight vanishes completely. Below this point lies a realm of permanent night. No sunrise ever reaches these waters. No sunset ever paints them with color. Darkness reigns every second of every day. Yet life flourishes there. The deep sea is home to creatures unlike anything found on land. Some produce their own light. Others possess enormous eyes designed to capture the faintest glow. Many have adapted in ways that seem almost impossible. These animals evolved over millions of years in an environment completely different from the one humans know. Their world is shaped by darkness. Their world is shaped by pressure. And their world remains largely hidden from view. As scientists ventured farther into the depths, they encountered landscapes that rivaled anything found on land. Massive mountains regulate weather and climate across continents. In many ways, life on land depends upon processes taking place far beneath the waves. Yet most people rarely think about the deep ocean. It remains distant and invisible, out of sight, out of mind. Perhaps that is part of what makes it so fascinating. The deep sea reminds us that our world is still full of unknown places. Despite centuries of exploration and scientific progress, mysteries remain. There are creatures waiting to be discovered. There are landscapes yet to be mapped. There are questions still unanswered. Every expedition reveals something new. Every journey into the darkness expands our understanding of life on Earth. And perhaps that is why the deep sea continues to capture the imagination. It is a frontier that still exists, a place where discovery remains possible, a place where the unknown survives. As our journey comes to an end tonight, imagine yourself floating gently above the dark waters of the ocean. The surface is far above. The world is silent. Beneath you lies an endless expanse of mystery stretching toward the ocean floor. Hidden creatures drift through the darkness. Ancient mountains rise from the depths, and countless secrets wait patiently to be uncovered. In our next chapter, we will descend even deeper into the realm of eternal darkness, where sunlight never reaches and life survives under conditions unlike anywhere else on Earth. Until then, rest well, and thank you for traveling through the deep sea with Night Empires. Chapter 2. Descending into Eternal Darkness. Our journey continues as we leave the familiar world of sunlight behind and descend deeper into the ocean than most human beings will ever travel. In the previous chapter, we explored the vastness of the oceans and discovered why the deep sea remains one of Earth's greatest mysteries. Now, we begin a slow descent into a realm where sunlight fades, temperatures fall, and darkness becomes absolute. This is the world of eternal night. Imagine standing on the deck of a ship in the middle of the ocean. The sky above is clear. The sun shines brightly. Waves sparkle across the water. Everything feels familiar. But beneath the surface lies a hidden universe. As we begin our descent, sunlight still surrounds us. Fish move through the clear blue water. Schools of silver bodies flash in the distance. Sea turtles glide peacefully through the currents. This upper layer of the ocean is where most marine life exists. It is a world powered by sunlight. Plants grow. Tiny plankton drift through the water. Predators hunt among coral reefs. Life flourishes in abundance. But as we slowly travel deeper, something begins to change. The bright blue colors start to fade. The water grows darker. The warm sunlight becomes weaker. Above us, the surface grows more distant. Soon, we enter a region scientists call the Twilight Zone. The name feels appropriate. Nothing here is completely bright. Nothing is completely dark. Instead, the ocean exists in a strange state between day and night. Sunlight still reaches these depths, but only barely. The light is dim and ghostly. Shadows dominate the water. Colors disappear one by one. Red is often the first color to vanish. Orange follows, then yellow. Eventually, the ocean becomes a world of deep blues and blacks. Many creatures living in the Twilight Zone have evolved remarkable adaptations. Some possess unusually large eyes. Others have bodies designed to remain almost invisible. Survival here requires efficiency. Food becomes scarcer as sunlight fades. Every movement consumes precious energy. Every meal matters. As we continue downward, the ocean grows quieter. The surface world feels impossibly far away. Storms may rage above. Ships may cross the waves. Entire cities may go about their daily lives. Yet none of that matters here. The deeper we travel, the more isolated this world becomes. Eventually, the final traces of sunlight disappear. The darkness becomes complete. This is the Midnight Zone, a realm where no sunrise has ever been seen. A realm where no ray of sunlight has reached for millions of years. Imagine total darkness. Not the darkness of a bedroom at night. Not the darkness of a moonless sky. A deeper darkness. A darkness so complete that direction itself begins to lose meaning. Above and below become difficult to distinguish. Distance becomes impossible to judge. The ocean transforms into an endless black void. And yet, life thrives here. For centuries, humans believed such a place could never support living creatures. The conditions seemed too extreme. The darkness appeared too overwhelming. But nature once again proved far more creative than anyone imagined. Deep-sea animals evolved extraordinary methods of survival. Many developed bioluminescence. They learned to create their own light. Tiny flashes of blue and green illuminate the darkness. Some creatures use light to attract prey. Others use it to confuse predators. Some communicate through patterns of glowing signals. The result is a hidden world filled with living lanterns drifting through the black ocean. To human eyes, the scene would appear almost magical. Tiny stars moving through an underwater universe. Yet darkness is not the only challenge. Pressure increases dramatically with depth. With every meter of descent, the weight of the ocean grows heavier. By the time we reach the deep ocean, the pressure becomes almost unimaginable. Every square inch of an object must support an enormous force. Most creatures from shallow waters could never survive here. Their bodies would simply collapse. Deep-sea animals, however, evolved over countless generations to withstand these conditions. Their bodies are perfectly adapted to their environment. What seems impossible to us is simply normal life for them. As scientists explored these depths, they encountered creatures unlike anything previously known. Fish with enormous jaws. Transparent animals drifting through the darkness. Squid moving silently through black waters. Some species appeared so unusual that early explorers struggled to believe they were real. Each expedition revealed something new. Each discovery reminded humanity how little it truly knew about the deep ocean. The Midnight Zone stretches for thousands of meters, yet even deeper regions still await. Far below lies the abyssal zone, a place so remote that it remains one of the least explored environments on Earth. The word abyss means an immeasurably deep space. Standing at the edge of an abyss has long symbolized staring into the unknown. Few places deserve that description more than the abyssal depths of the ocean. The seafloor here is cold and silent. Temperatures remain near freezing. The darkness is absolute. The pressure is immense, yet life continues. Strange creatures crawl across the ocean floor. Delicate animals drift through the water. Ancient ecosystems survive in conditions that once seemed impossible. The deeper scientists looked, the more they discovered. Every assumption about the ocean had to be reconsidered. Every expedition challenged old beliefs. What once appeared empty was revealed to be alive. What once seemed barren was revealed to be complex. And what once seemed impossible became reality. Perhaps that is the greatest lesson of the deep sea. The unknown is often far more extraordinary than we imagine. The darkness beneath the waves is not empty. It is filled with stories, filled with life, filled with mysteries waiting to be uncovered. As tonight's journey comes to an end, imagine yourself suspended peacefully in the black waters of the deep ocean. No sunlight reaches you. No sound disturbs the silence. Tiny flashes of bioluminescent light drift through the darkness like distant stars. Around you stretches an endless underwater night. A world untouched by time. A world hidden from human eyes. And a world we are only beginning to understand. In our next chapter, we will meet some of the most extraordinary creatures ever discovered, exploring the strange animals that call the deep sea their home. Chapter 3. Strange Creatures of the Deep. In our previous journey, we left the world of sunlight behind and entered the endless night of the deep sea. Now, we will meet the remarkable creatures that call this hidden world home. Many of them seem almost unreal. Some glow in the darkness. Some possess enormous eyes. Others appear so unusual that early explorers believed they must be myths. Yet every one of these animals is perfectly adapted to life in one of the harshest environments on our planet. As we drift through the black waters, remember that every creature here is the result of millions of years of evolution. In a world without sunlight, nature followed very different paths. The first thing many people notice about deep-sea animals is their appearance. They often look strange compared to the creatures of shallow waters. But there is a reason for this. Life in darkness requires special adaptations. Features that seem unusual to us often provide essential advantages in the deep ocean. One of the most famous deep-sea animals is the anglerfish. Its appearance has fascinated people for generations. The anglerfish lives in darkness so complete that finding food can be difficult. To solve this problem, it carries its own fishing lure. Extending from its head is a glowing organ that produces light. Small animals are attracted to the glow. When they come too close, the anglerfish strikes. The hunter disappears back into the darkness with its meal. For many people, the anglerfish has become a symbol of the mysterious deep sea. Yet it is only one of countless unusual species. Far away in the darkness drifts another remarkable creature, the vampire squid. Despite its frightening name, the vampire squid is not a dangerous predator. In fact, it spends much of its life drifting peacefully through the ocean. Its dark body and webbed arms give it an appearance unlike almost any other animal. When disturbed, it can create displays of glowing light that confuse predators. In the darkness of the deep sea, Such defenses can mean the difference between life and death. Another fascinating resident of the deep ocean is the dragonfish. The name sounds like something from mythology, and in many ways, the animal lives up to that reputation. Dragonfish possess long bodies, sharp teeth, and the ability to produce light. Some species even generate red bioluminescence. This is unusual because most deep-sea creatures cannot see red light. As a result, the dragonfish can illuminate its surroundings without revealing its presence to prey. It is a remarkable example of evolutionary innovation. The deeper scientists explored, the more unusual creatures they discovered. Some appeared almost transparent. Others resembled floating ribbons. Certain species seemed so fragile that they looked as though they might disappear with a single touch. Among the most beautiful of these animals are jellyfish. Although jellyfish exist throughout the oceans, many deep-sea varieties possess extraordinary forms. Their glowing bodies drift silently through the darkness. Long tentacles trail behind them like delicate threads. Watching them move through the water is often compared to watching stars drift through the night sky. In many ways, the deep ocean has its own version of constellations. The stars simply happen to be alive. Perhaps one of the most mysterious deep-sea animals is the giant squid. For centuries, sailors told stories of enormous tentacled creatures lurking beneath the waves. Many people dismissed these tales as exaggerations, yet eventually, science confirmed that giant squid truly existed. Living deep beneath the ocean's surface, these elusive animals can reach astonishing sizes. For much of history, no one had observed them alive in their natural habitat. They remained legends made real. Even today, giant squid are rarely seen. Every encounter continues to fascinate scientists and the public alike. Nearby, other squid species move through the darkness. Some can change color. Some produce light. Others move with surprising speed and agility. Their intelligence has made them subjects of scientific study for decades. The deep sea is not simply a place of strange appearances. It is also home to remarkable survival strategies. Food can be scarce in the deep ocean. Animals must take advantage of every opportunity. Some predators possess enormous mouths capable of swallowing prey nearly as large as themselves. Others have expandable stomachs. A successful meal may need to sustain them for days or even weeks. In such an environment, wasting food is not an option. Patience becomes a valuable survival skill. Many deep-sea creatures spend long periods conserving energy. They drift slowly. They move only when necessary. Every action has a purpose. This efficiency allows life to flourish even where resources are limited. Scientists continue discovering new species with every major expedition. Modern submersibles and remotely operated vehicles reveal animals never before seen by human eyes. Each discovery reminds us how much remains unknown. Entire ecosystems continue to hide beneath the waves. Creatures unlike any previously imagined may still await discovery. That possibility is one of the reasons the deep sea remains so captivating. Unlike many places on Earth, it still offers genuine opportunities for exploration. There are mysteries yet to solve. There are species yet to identify. There are stories still waiting to be told. As our journey through the world of deep-sea creatures slowly comes to an end, imagine yourself floating quietly in the darkness. Around you drift glowing jellyfish. Far in the distance, a dragonfish flashes its light. An anglerfish waits patiently for prey. And somewhere beyond the darkness, A giant squid moves silently through the depths. This hidden world continues its ancient rhythms, unseen by most of humanity. A world of remarkable adaptations. A world of extraordinary beauty. And a world that continues to surprise even the most experienced scientists. In our next chapter, we will explore the giants of the deep sea, meeting some of the largest and most powerful creatures ever to inhabit the ocean's darkest waters. Chapter 4. The Giants of the Deep. We continue our journey through the deep ocean, leaving behind the smaller creatures of the darkness and entering a world inhabited by giants. For as long as humans have sailed the seas, stories have circulated about enormous creatures lurking beneath the waves. Ancient sailors spoke of monsters large enough to drag ships into the depths. Legends described colossal beasts rising from black waters during storms. Many of these tales were exaggerated over time, growing with each retelling. Yet hidden beneath the myths was a simple truth. The ocean is home to some of the largest creatures that have ever lived, and many of them spend at least part of their lives in the mysterious depths. The deep sea is a place where size often provides advantages. Large bodies can store energy. They can travel vast distances. They can survive long periods between meals. Over millions of years, certain species evolved into true giants. Among the most famous of these is the giant squid. For centuries, giant squid existed somewhere between science and legend. Sailors occasionally reported seeing enormous tentacles. Strange remains sometimes washed ashore. Yet no one could fully explain what lived in the darkness below. As a result, stories flourished. Many cultures imagined giant sea monsters attacking ships and devouring sailors. The reality, while less dramatic, is no less fascinating. The giant squid is a real animal. It lives deep beneath the ocean's surface and can grow to remarkable lengths. Its eyes are among the largest found in the animal kingdom. These enormous eyes help it detect movement in the darkness of the deep sea. For much of human history, giant squid remained almost completely hidden from view. Only in recent decades have scientists managed to capture images of these elusive creatures in their natural environment. Each encounter feels like a glimpse into a forgotten world. Even larger than the giant squid is its mysterious relative, the colossal squid. Living in the cold waters of the Southern Ocean, the colossal squid is one of the heaviest invertebrates on Earth. Very little is known about its behavior. Most information comes from rare specimens brought to the surface. Because sightings are so uncommon, much of its life remains a mystery. It continues to remind scientists how much remains unknown beneath the waves. Not all giants of the deep possess tentacles. Some travel through the darkness with powerful fins and streamlined bodies. Among these are deep-sea sharks. Sharks have existed for hundreds of millions of years. Long before dinosaurs appeared, sharks already ruled ancient oceans. Some deep-water species live at extraordinary depths, moving slowly through cold and dark environments. One of the most remarkable examples is the Greenland shark. This ancient animal inhabits the cold waters of the North Atlantic and Arctic regions. Unlike many fast-moving sharks, it travels slowly and patiently. What makes the Greenland shark especially fascinating is its lifespan. Scientists believe some individuals may live for several centuries. Imagine a shark alive before the invention of electricity. A shark already swimming through dark waters while empires rose and fell across the world. Few creatures offer such a powerful connection to the distant past. As we continue deeper, we encounter another giant of the ocean floor. the giant isopod. At first glance, it resembles a massive version of a common garden insect. Its armored body crawls slowly across the seabed in search of food. Although its appearance may seem unusual, the giant isopod is perfectly adapted to deep-sea life. Scientists believe its large size may result from a phenomenon known as deep-sea gigantism. In certain ocean environments, some animals grow much larger than their relatives living in shallow waters. The exact reasons remain a subject of scientific investigation, yet the result is undeniable. The deep sea often produces giants. Not every giant is a predator. Some are gentle travelers moving silently through the darkness. Deep-diving whales occasionally venture into the ocean's hidden regions. Sperm whales, for example, can dive to extraordinary depths in search of squid. These magnificent animals spend much of their lives navigating a world few humans will ever see. Their powerful bodies allow them to descend far beneath the surface before returning to breathe. For centuries, encounters between sperm whales and giant squid may have inspired stories of underwater battles between titans. Although such encounters are rarely observed, evidence suggests they do occur. Scars found on whales sometimes reveal signs of struggles deep beneath the sea. Far below the waves, life continues according to rhythms largely invisible to the human world. The giants of the deep hunt, travel, and survive in silence. They move through darkness that has remained unchanged for millions of years. And despite all our technological advances, many of these creatures remain difficult to study. Modern submarines and remotely operated vehicles have greatly expanded our knowledge. Yet the ocean is vast. Even today, scientists frequently encounter species never previously observed. Every expedition carries the possibility of discovery. Every journey into the deep may reveal something entirely unexpected. Perhaps that is why the giants of the deep continue to capture our imagination. They represent more than unusual animals. They represent mystery itself. Proof that our planet still contains places where the unknown survives. Places where nature continues to surprise us. As tonight's journey slowly comes to an end, imagine yourself drifting through the darkness of the deep ocean. Far below, a giant isopod crosses the seabed. In the distance, a Greenland shark glides silently through cold water. Beyond the darkness, the silhouette of a giant squid moves through the black depths. Ancient creatures continue their lives unseen by most of humanity. A hidden world of giants, a world of mystery, and a world that still has many secrets left to reveal. In our next chapter, we will explore one of the most extraordinary environments ever discovered beneath the sea. Hydrothermal vents and underwater volcanoes, where life thrives without sunlight. Chapter 5. Hydrothermal vents and underwater volcanoes. Our journey takes us to one of the most astonishing places ever discovered on Earth. Far beneath the ocean's surface, deeper than sunlight can reach, hidden among mountains and trenches, lies a world that few people even know exists. It is a world of fire and darkness, a world where boiling water erupts from the seafloor, a world where entire ecosystems thrive without sunlight. This is the realm of hydrothermal vents and underwater volcanoes. For most of human history, people believed all life ultimately depended upon the sun. Plants capture sunlight and transform it into energy. Animals eat plants or other animals. The entire chain of life seemed connected to the light shining down from above. It appeared to be one of nature's fundamental rules. Then, in the late 20th century, scientists discovered something extraordinary. Deep beneath the ocean, they found communities of living organisms thriving in complete darkness. These ecosystems existed far beyond the reach of sunlight. The discovery challenged long-held assumptions about life itself. To understand these hidden worlds, we must first travel to the ocean floor. Imagine descending thousands of meters beneath the waves. The water grows darker. The temperature falls. Pressure increases enormously. Eventually, the seabed appears below. It is a landscape unlike anything on land. Mountain ranges stretch across the ocean floor. Deep valleys cut through ancient rock. Volcanic activity continues beneath the Earth's crust. Although hidden from view, our planet remains active below the oceans. In many places, molten rock rises from deep within the Earth. This process helps shape the ocean floor. It creates underwater volcanoes, ridges, and cracks in the crust. Along some of these cracks, seawater seeps downward into the Earth. As it travels through hot rock, the water becomes superheated. Eventually, it rises back toward the seafloor carrying dissolved minerals. When this heated water erupts into the cold ocean, hydrothermal vents are formed. The sight is remarkable. Towering chimney-like structures rise from the seabed. Dark, mineral-rich water pours into the surrounding ocean. To early explorers, the scene appeared almost alien. Some of these formations became known as black smokers because of the dark clouds they release. In the darkness of the deep sea, these structures resemble underwater factories operating in silence. Yet their greatest surprise is not geological. It is biological. Around these vents, life flourishes. Dense communities of organisms gather where hot, mineral-rich water enters the ocean. Tube worms extend from protective shells. Crabs crawl across the rocks. Shrimp gather in large numbers. Fish patrol the surrounding waters. The abundance of life is astonishing, especially considering that sunlight never reaches these depths. The key to this mystery lies in a process called chemosynthesis. Instead of using sunlight for energy, certain microorganisms use chemicals released by hydrothermal vents. These tiny organisms form the foundation of an entire ecosystem. Other creatures depend upon them directly or indirectly for survival. Life, it turns out, is more adaptable than anyone once imagined. The discovery of hydrothermal vent communities transformed scientific understanding. If life could flourish in such extreme environments on Earth, perhaps it could survive in unexpected places elsewhere in the universe as well. Some scientists even consider hydrothermal vents possible locations where life may have first emerged billions of years ago. The conditions around these vents are extraordinary. Temperatures can vary dramatically within short distances. Near a vent opening, water may become incredibly hot. Only a few meters away, the surrounding ocean remains near freezing. Animals living here must tolerate conditions that would challenge most forms of life. Yet over millions of years, they have adapted perfectly. One of the most famous vent inhabitants is the giant tube worm. These remarkable creatures can grow several meters long. Unlike many animals, they lack mouths and digestive systems. Instead, they rely on symbiotic bacteria living within their bodies. The bacteria process chemicals from the vent environment and provide nutrients. Together, they form a partnership that allows both organisms to survive. It is one of nature's most fascinating relationships. As scientists explored additional regions of the ocean floor, they discovered more hydrothermal vent systems. Some existed along vast underwater mountain chains. Others appeared near isolated volcanic regions. Each site revealed unique communities of life. Many species existed nowhere else on Earth. Every expedition seemed to uncover something new. The ocean floor itself also proved more active than previously believed. Underwater volcanoes are found throughout the world's oceans. Some rise thousands of meters from the seabed. Others occasionally erupt, releasing lava into surrounding waters. Most remain hidden from public view because they occur far below the surface. Yet they play a major role in shaping the planet. Entire islands can form through volcanic activity beneath the sea. Over geological time, underwater eruptions have helped create some of the landscapes we know today. The deep ocean is therefore not a silent, motionless place. It is dynamic. It changes constantly. Volcanoes erupt. New rock forms. Hydrothermal vents appear and disappear. Life adapts and evolves alongside these transformations. The more scientists studied these environments, the more they realized how interconnected Earth's systems truly are. Processes occurring deep beneath the ocean influence the chemistry of seawater. They affect ecosystems. They contribute to the ongoing evolution of life. Much of this activity takes place far beyond human sight, yet it remains essential to our planet. Even now, many hydrothermal vent systems remain undiscovered. Large areas of the ocean floor have never been explored in detail. Future expeditions may reveal entirely new ecosystems, new species, perhaps even new insights into the origins of life itself. The deep sea continues to remind us that Earth still holds countless mysteries. As tonight's journey comes to an end, imagine yourself standing beside one of these underwater chimneys. Dark, mineral-rich water rises into the black ocean. Around you, strange creatures thrive in an environment once thought impossible. Far above lies the distant surface world. But here, deep beneath the waves, life follows its own ancient path. A path illuminated not by sunlight, but by the hidden energy of the Earth itself. In our next chapter, we will travel to the deepest places on the planet, descending into immense trenches where pressure reaches unimaginable levels and the ocean approaches its greatest depths. Until then, rest well. And thank you for continuing this journey through the deep sea with NightEmpires. Chapter 6. The deepest places on Earth. We are leaving behind the underwater mountains, the hydrothermal vents, and the strange ecosystems of the deep ocean. Instead, we are descending into the deepest places on our planet. Places so remote and so extreme that very few human beings have ever visited them. Places hidden beneath miles of water. Places where pressure reaches unimaginable levels. Places that exist at the very limits of life. This is the story of the ocean's deepest trenches. For centuries, humans knew almost nothing about the true depth of the oceans. Sailors crossed the seas without realizing what lay beneath them. They saw only the surface. Beneath their ships, however, the ocean floor plunged into darkness. In some places, it descended farther than anyone could have imagined. As scientific exploration advanced during the 19th century, researchers began measuring ocean depths more carefully. The results were surprising. The seafloor was not flat. Instead, it contained mountains, valleys, ridges, and enormous trenches. Some of these trenches extended deeper than the height of Mount Everest. They represented some of the most extreme environments on Earth. Among all of them, one location became famous around the world: the Mariana Trench. Located in the western Pacific Ocean, The Mariana Trench is the deepest known oceanic trench on Earth. Stretching for thousands of kilometers, it forms a vast scar across the seafloor. Its most famous region is known as Challenger Deep. This location represents the deepest point currently known in Earth's oceans. Standing at the edge of such a place is impossible. There are no cliffs visible from the surface, no dramatic landscapes to observe. Instead, the trench remains hidden beneath kilometers of water. Its existence can only be revealed through exploration and technology. Imagine beginning a descent into Challenger Deep. The journey would take hours. Sunlight would disappear. The water would grow colder. The pressure would increase continuously. With every passing moment, the environment would become more extreme. Eventually, the ocean above would weigh more than anyone could easily comprehend. The pressure at these depths is immense. It is powerful enough to crush ordinary objects instantly. Any vehicle attempting such a journey must be specially designed to survive. For much of human history, reaching these depths seemed impossible. The trench belonged entirely to the realm of imagination. Then, in the 20th century, explorers began attempting the unimaginable. One of the most significant moments occurred in 1960. A deep-diving vessel called the Trieste carried two explorers toward Challenger Deep. Slowly, they descended into darkness. The journey required patience and courage. As they traveled deeper, the weight of the ocean pressed against the vessel from every direction. Hours passed. The darkness outside remained complete. Finally, they reached the seafloor. For the first time in history, human beings had visited the deepest known point in the ocean. The achievement captured the imagination of the world. Yet despite this success, very few people would follow. The deep trench remained one of the least visited places on Earth. Decades later, new expeditions returned to Challenger Deep. Advances in technology allowed scientists and explorers to gather additional information. Cameras captured images of the seafloor. Research vehicles collected samples. Each mission revealed more about this extraordinary environment. What surprised many researchers was the discovery that life existed even here. For years, some scientists believed the deepest trenches might be too extreme to support living organisms. The pressure seemed overwhelming. The darkness was complete. The cold was relentless. Yet life once again proved remarkably resilient. Tiny organisms inhabited the sediments. Unusual creatures moved across the seabed. Even in one of Earth's harshest environments, life endured. These discoveries transformed scientific understanding. The deepest parts of the ocean were not empty. They were ecosystems, different from those found elsewhere, but alive nonetheless. As researchers explored additional trenches around the world, similar patterns emerged. The Pacific Ocean alone contains several immense trenches. Each possesses unique characteristics. Each hosts its own collection of organisms, and each contributes to our understanding of the deep sea. The deepest regions of the ocean belong to what scientists call the Hadal Zone. The name comes from Hades, the ancient Greek underworld. It is an appropriate description. The Hadal Zone exists beyond the familiar world. It is isolated, remote, and extraordinarily difficult to explore. Even today, much of this region remains poorly understood. There are still areas that have never been directly observed. Entire landscapes remain hidden beneath the darkness. Future generations may discover features and species we cannot yet imagine. Perhaps that is what makes these places so fascinating. In an age when satellites map continents and spacecraft explore distant worlds, the deepest trenches still hold mysteries. They remind us that Earth remains a frontier, a planet where discovery continues, a planet that still contains unknown places. As our descent reaches its conclusion tonight, imagine yourself standing on the seafloor of Challenger Deep. Above you stretches nearly 11 kilometers of ocean. The darkness is complete. The silence is absolute. Yet around you, life persists. Tiny organisms continue their ancient existence. The trench remains as it has for millions of years, hidden, mysterious, and waiting to reveal more of its secrets. In our next chapter, we will explore lost ships, sunken treasures, and some of the greatest mysteries ever hidden beneath the waves. Until then, rest well. Chapter 7. Lost Ships, Treasure, and Mysteries. Our journey through the deep sea takes a different direction. In previous chapters, we explored strange creatures, underwater volcanoes, and the deepest trenches on Earth. Now we enter a world where history and mystery meet beneath the waves. A world of lost ships, forgotten voyages, hidden treasures, and unanswered questions. For thousands of years, human civilization has depended upon the sea. Merchants crossed oceans carrying valuable goods. Explorers sailed into unknown waters searching for new lands. Navies protected empires and fought great battles. Fishermen ventured far from shore in search of food. Yet the sea has always demanded respect. Storms, reefs, currents, and navigation errors claimed countless vessels throughout history. Many disappeared without a trace. Others sank suddenly, taking their stories with them into the darkness below. Today, the ocean floor serves as one of the largest museums on Earth. Scattered across the seabed are the remains of ships from nearly every era of human history. Some are centuries old. Others sank only decades ago. Each wreck tells a story. Each is a frozen moment from the past. One of the most famous shipwrecks in history is the Titanic. When the Titanic began its maiden voyage in 1912, it was considered one of the most advanced passenger ships ever built. People admired its size, luxury, and engineering. Many believed it represented the future of ocean travel. Yet only a few days into its journey, disaster struck. After colliding with an iceberg in the North Atlantic, the great ship sank beneath the freezing waters. The tragedy shocked the world. For decades, the exact location of the wreck remained unknown. The ocean had hidden it well. Then, in 1985, an expedition finally located the remains deep beneath the surface. The discovery renewed global interest in the Titanic. Images of the wreck revealed a haunting sight. The once grand vessel rested silently on the ocean floor. Time and nature had transformed it, yet it remained a powerful reminder of a historic event. The Titanic is only one of countless shipwrecks scattered across the world's oceans. Ancient trading ships lie buried beneath layers of sediment. Warships from forgotten conflicts rest in darkness. Cargo vessels carrying valuable goods remain hidden far below the waves. Some wrecks have revealed remarkable insights into history. Their cargoes preserve information about trade routes, technologies, and daily life from long ago. In some cases, the ocean protects artifacts better than conditions on land. Researchers studying shipwrecks often describe them as underwater time capsules. The moment a vessel sinks, its story becomes frozen. Years later, explorers may uncover evidence that helps reconstruct events from the past. The deep sea, therefore, serves not only as a natural environment but also as an archive of human history. Of course, where shipwrecks exist, stories of treasure often follow. For centuries, tales of lost gold and sunken riches have captured the imagination. Stories spread of treasure ships carrying fortunes across dangerous waters. Some vessels vanished during storms. Others disappeared during wars. Many were never recovered. As a result, legends grew. Treasure hunters searched oceans hoping to discover hidden wealth. Occasionally, they succeeded. Several famous shipwrecks have yielded valuable cargoes, including coins, jewelry, and precious metals. Yet the true value of many discoveries often lies not in gold, but in historical knowledge. Artifacts recovered from shipwrecks help scholars understand the past in ways written records cannot. The ocean also contains mysteries that remain unsolved. Throughout history, ships have disappeared under unusual circumstances. Some left behind no survivors. Others vanished without sending distress signals. In many cases, explanations remain uncertain. Over time, these events inspired countless theories and legends. One famous example involves the so-called ghost ships. These are vessels discovered drifting at sea without crews aboard. The ships themselves may appear largely intact. Food may remain on tables. Personal belongings may still be present. Yet the people who once occupied the vessel are gone. Such discoveries naturally inspire curiosity. What happened? Why did the crew leave? Where did they go? In some cases, historians eventually uncover reasonable explanations. In others, uncertainty remains. The mystery becomes part of maritime folklore. The ocean seems particularly skilled at preserving unanswered questions. Its vastness makes complete certainty difficult. Even modern technology cannot monitor every region of the sea. Large areas remain remote and rarely visited. Storms can erase evidence. Currents can carry debris across enormous distances. As a result, some mysteries endure. Perhaps that is one reason why the sea continues to fascinate people. It combines history, exploration, and imagination in a way few places can. Every shipwreck represents a story waiting to be discovered. Every expedition carries the possibility of revealing something new. The ocean floor remains filled with secrets. Some are historical, some are scientific, and some may never be fully understood. As technology improves, researchers continue exploring deeper and farther than ever before. New wrecks are discovered regularly. Advanced imaging systems reveal details once impossible to observe. Robotic vehicles investigate locations too dangerous for human divers. Yet despite these advances, the ocean still guards many of its secrets. Countless shipwrecks remain undiscovered. Countless stories remain untold. The deep sea continues to remind us how much history lies hidden beneath the waves. As tonight's journey slowly comes to an end, imagine yourself drifting above a silent shipwreck resting on the ocean floor. The vessel has remained there for decades, perhaps centuries. Fish move through broken windows. Soft currents pass across weathered metal and ancient wood. The darkness is peaceful. The noise of the surface world is far away. Here, history sleeps beneath the sea, waiting, preserved, and quietly telling its story to those who come searching. In our next chapter, we will explore the history of deep-sea exploration itself, following the explorers, inventors, and adventurers who dared to descend into the unknown. Until then, rest well. And thank you for continuing this journey through the deep sea with Night Empires. Chapter 8. Deep sea exploration through history. Throughout history, the ocean has inspired both wonder and fear. Its surface connected civilizations, carried explorers to distant lands, and shaped the course of human history. Yet beneath the waves remained an unknown world. For thousands of years, people could only imagine what existed in the darkness below. The story of deep-sea exploration is therefore not just a story about science. It is a story about curiosity, a story about courage, and a story about humanity's desire to understand the unknown. The earliest sailors knew very little about the ocean depths. Ancient civilizations such as Egypt, Greece, Rome, India, and China relied heavily on the sea for trade and transportation. Ships crossed vast distances, carrying goods, ideas, and cultures. But once a vessel left the shoreline, much of the ocean remained mysterious. Many ancient cultures believed strange creatures inhabited the deep. Sea serpents appeared in legends. Gigantic monsters filled sailors' stories. Maps sometimes included illustrations of terrifying beasts lurking beyond known waters. These images reflected humanity's limited understanding of the ocean. When knowledge is scarce, imagination often fills the gaps. For centuries, exploration focused almost entirely on the surface. Sailors measured coastlines, charted islands, and discovered new trade routes. The ocean floor itself remained hidden. Even determining depth was difficult. One of the earliest methods involved a simple weighted rope. A sailor would lower the rope over the side of a ship until it touched the bottom. The length of rope revealed the depth. This technique worked reasonably well in shallow waters. But in the open ocean, it became far less practical. The depths were simply too great. As centuries passed, scientific interest in the oceans gradually increased. The age of exploration introduced new questions about geography, navigation, and the natural world. Researchers began seeking more accurate information about the seas. Still, the deep ocean remained largely inaccessible. Everything changed during the 19th century. Advances in science and technology allowed researchers to investigate the ocean in new ways. Expeditions began collecting samples from greater depths. Instruments were lowered into the water. Scientists examined strange creatures brought to the surface. Each discovery challenged old assumptions. Many experts had once believed life could not survive in the deep sea. The evidence now suggested otherwise. One of the most important scientific voyages in ocean history was the expedition of HMS Challenger. Beginning in 1872, this British research vessel embarked on a journey that would transform ocean science. Over several years, the crew traveled around the world studying the oceans. They measured depths, collected specimens, recorded temperatures, and gathered enormous amounts of information. The expedition revealed just how complex and fascinating the ocean truly was. Many historians consider it the beginning of modern oceanography. The Challenger expedition demonstrated that the deep sea was not an empty wasteland. It was a living world waiting to be explored. As the 20th century began, technology continued to advance. Researchers developed new instruments capable of reaching greater depths. Submarines demonstrated that humans could travel beneath the surface for extended periods. Yet exploring the deepest parts of the ocean remained extremely difficult. The pressure was immense. The darkness was complete. Traditional equipment often failed under such conditions. Engineers and scientists therefore began designing specialized vehicles. One of the most famous early examples was the bathysphere. Developed in the 1930s, The bathysphere was a steel sphere lowered into the ocean by cable. Inside this small vessel, explorers descended into depths rarely seen by humans. The experience was unlike anything previously attempted. For the first time, people could observe deep-sea environments directly rather than relying solely on samples brought to the surface. The darkness, the strange creatures, and the immense scale of the ocean left lasting impressions on those who made these journeys. The success of the bathysphere inspired further innovation. Researchers continued searching for ways to travel deeper. This effort eventually led to one of the most remarkable achievements in exploration history. In 1960, the vessel Trieste descended to Challenger Deep in the Mariana Trench. The journey took the explorers to the deepest known location in Earth's oceans. For hours they traveled through darkness. Pressure increased to extraordinary levels, yet the vessel continued downward. When they finally reached the seafloor, they became the first human beings to visit the deepest known point on Earth. The achievement demonstrated what determination and engineering could accomplish. It remains one of the great milestones of exploration. In the decades that followed, technology transformed ocean research. Computers improved navigation. Cameras captured detailed images. Sonar systems mapped vast regions of the seafloor. Scientists could now study underwater landscapes with unprecedented accuracy. Perhaps the greatest revolution came through the development of remotely operated vehicles. These robotic machines allowed researchers to explore dangerous depths without risking human lives. Controlled from ships at the surface, they could travel into environments too extreme for divers. Their cameras revealed breathtaking scenes: hydrothermal vents, deep-sea trenches, strange ecosystems, previously unknown species. Every mission expanded human knowledge. Today, exploration continues using even more advanced technologies. Autonomous underwater vehicles can navigate independently. High-resolution mapping systems create detailed images of the seafloor. Research submarines reach extraordinary depths. Scientists around the world collaborate to study the oceans. Yet despite all these advances, much of the deep sea remains unexplored. Large regions have never been observed directly. New species continue to be discovered. New geological features continue to be identified. The ocean remains one of Earth's final frontiers, and perhaps that is what makes its exploration so inspiring. Every generation of explorers builds upon the achievements of those who came before. Ancient sailors crossed unknown waters. Scientists aboard the Challenger expanded human understanding. The crews of the bathysphere and Trieste pushed the limits of exploration. Modern researchers continue the journey today. Together, they form part of a long story. A story driven by curiosity. A story driven by discovery. And a story that is still being written. As tonight's journey comes to an end, imagine yourself aboard a research vessel floating quietly on the ocean surface. Far below, robotic explorers move through the darkness. Their lights reveal landscapes no human eyes have ever seen. New discoveries await in every direction. The ocean remains vast. The mysteries remain many. And the adventure of exploration continues. In our next chapter, we will uncover some of the hidden wonders of the deep ocean, exploring extraordinary landscapes and ecosystems that few people ever get the chance to see. Chapter 9. Hidden Wonders Beneath the Ocean. Our journey through the deep sea brings us to some of the most beautiful and surprising places hidden beneath the waves. When many people imagine the deep ocean, they picture darkness, cold water, and endless emptiness. Yet the reality is far more extraordinary. Beneath the surface lies a world filled with remarkable landscapes, ancient formations, and ecosystems unlike anything found on land. Many of these wonders remain unknown to most of humanity. Some have only been discovered in recent decades. Others are still being explored today. Together, they remind us that our planet remains full of hidden beauty. As our journey begins, imagine descending slowly through the dark waters of the ocean. Far below, the seafloor gradually emerges from the darkness. At first, it appears empty. Then shapes begin to take form. Mountains rise from the seabed. Valleys stretch toward the horizon. Cliffs and ridges create a landscape as dramatic as any found on land. One of the most surprising discoveries of modern oceanography is the sheer scale of underwater mountain ranges. Running across the ocean floor are enormous chains of mountains that extend for thousands of kilometers. These formations are among the largest geological structures on Earth. Yet because they lie beneath the sea, most people never see them. For millions of years, these underwater mountains have shaped the oceans. They influence currents, provide habitats for marine life, and reveal the dynamic forces operating beneath Earth's surface. In some regions, isolated peaks rise from the ocean floor. These underwater mountains are known as seamounts. Many were formed by volcanic activity long ago. Some once stood above the ocean's surface as islands before erosion and geological change altered their appearance. Today, they serve as important habitats for marine species. Fish gather around their slopes. Corals attach themselves to rocky surfaces. Predators patrol the surrounding waters. Life often flourishes around these underwater oases. Far from being barren, seamounts can support rich ecosystems. Another hidden wonder of the deep sea is the existence of deep-water coral reefs. When people hear the word coral, they often imagine warm tropical waters filled with colorful fish. Yet corals also exist in the cold darkness of the deep ocean. Unlike their shallow water relatives, these corals do not depend upon sunlight. They grow slowly over long periods of time. Some structures may be hundreds or even thousands of years old. Their delicate branches create habitats for numerous species. Fish seek shelter among them. Small organisms find protection within their complex structures. Together, they form communities that thrive far below the surface. The deep ocean also contains remarkable sponge gardens. Certain species of deep-sea sponges grow to impressive sizes. Some possess intricate glass-like skeletons that appear almost artistic in design. These formations provide homes for countless smaller organisms. The longer scientists study such environments, the more they appreciate their complexity. Even the simplest-looking habitat often supports a surprising diversity of life. As exploration continued, researchers discovered underwater canyons rivaling those found on land. Some stretch for hundreds of kilometers. Others cut deep into the continental margins. Powerful currents flow through these underwater valleys, transporting nutrients and supporting marine ecosystems. To scientists, they represent important pathways connecting different parts of the ocean. To observers, they reveal the extraordinary variety of landscapes hidden beneath the waves. Perhaps one of the most beautiful sights in the deep sea comes from bioluminescent organisms. Throughout the darkness, countless creatures produce their own light. Tiny flashes appear and disappear. Glowing trails drift through the water. Delicate jellyfish illuminate themselves with soft blue light. The result can resemble a living night sky. Imagine floating through complete darkness while thousands of tiny lights surround you. It is a scene unlike anything on land, a reminder that beauty exists even in the most unexpected places. The ocean floor also contains unusual geological formations created over immense spans of time. Some resemble towers, others resemble forests of stone. Minerals slowly accumulate and form structures that can persist for thousands of years. In many cases, these formations remain largely unexplored. Every expedition seems to reveal something new. The deep sea continually challenges expectations. Places once assumed to be empty often prove rich with life. Areas once considered uninteresting reveal remarkable geological features. Each discovery expands our understanding of the planet, and each discovery reminds us how much remains hidden. Scientists estimate that large portions of the ocean floor have never been directly observed. Entire ecosystems may still await discovery. New species continue to be identified regularly. New habitats continue to be mapped. The ocean remains a frontier of exploration. Its wonders are not confined to a single region. They exist throughout the world, from deep trenches to underwater mountains, from coral gardens to volcanic ridges, from glowing organisms to ancient sponge forests. The hidden beauty of the ocean is everywhere. It simply lies beyond ordinary sight. Perhaps that is part of its appeal. The deep sea invites curiosity. It rewards exploration. And it constantly reminds us that Earth remains full of surprises. Even in the modern age, there are places where mystery still survives. Places where discovery remains possible. Places where nature continues to reveal its creativity. As tonight's journey slowly comes to an end, imagine yourself drifting peacefully above an underwater mountain range. Far below, coral gardens sway gently in the currents. Glass sponges stand like ancient sculptures. Tiny lights from bioluminescent creatures flicker through the darkness. The ocean around you is calm and silent. A hidden world of beauty stretches in every direction. A world few people will ever see, yet a world that has existed beneath the waves for millions of years. In our final chapter, we will look toward the future of deep-sea exploration and consider what discoveries may still await humanity in the depths of the ocean. Chapter 10. The Future of the Deep Sea. We arrive at the final chapter of our journey through the deep sea. Over the course of this series, we have traveled through darkness and silence. We have explored strange creatures, underwater volcanoes, immense trenches, lost shipwrecks, and hidden landscapes few people will ever witness. Yet despite everything we have discovered, one truth remains. The deep sea is still largely unknown. In many ways, our journey has only just begun. Throughout history, every generation has believed it understood the world a little better than the one before. Ancient sailors mapped coastlines. Explorers crossed oceans. Scientists revealed the secrets of the planets and stars. Yet even today, much of Earth's largest environment remains unexplored. The ocean covers most of our planet, and beneath its surface lies a frontier that continues to challenge human understanding. This realization has inspired a new generation of researchers, engineers, and explorers. Around the world, scientists are developing technologies designed specifically for the deep ocean. Modern exploration vehicles are more advanced than ever before. Robotic submarines can travel into regions too dangerous for humans. High-resolution cameras reveal details that earlier generations could only imagine. Powerful sonar systems create maps of the seafloor with remarkable accuracy. Each year, these technologies uncover new information about the hidden world beneath the waves. One of the most important goals of modern ocean science is mapping the ocean floor. While many people assume the oceans have already been fully charted, the reality is quite different. Large regions remain only partially mapped. Some areas are still poorly understood. Scientists hope to create increasingly detailed maps that reveal underwater mountains, valleys, trenches, and ecosystems. Such knowledge will improve our understanding of Earth itself. It will help researchers study geological processes, ocean currents, and marine habitats. Mapping the ocean may not sound as exciting as discovering a new species, yet it remains one of the most important scientific challenges of our time. At the same time, researchers continue searching for life in the deep sea. New species are discovered regularly. Many possess adaptations unlike anything previously known. Some thrive near hydrothermal vents. Others inhabit deep trenches. Each discovery expands our understanding of biology, and each discovery raises new questions. How many species remain unknown? How do they survive such extreme conditions? What can they teach us about life itself? These questions continue to drive exploration forward. The future may also bring new discoveries about Earth's history. Sediments on the ocean floor preserve evidence from the distant past. Researchers study these records to understand ancient climates, geological events, and environmental changes. The deep sea acts as a vast archive, quietly storing information across millions of years. By reading this archive, scientists gain insights into the story of our planet. Understanding the past may help humanity prepare for the future. Another exciting area of research involves autonomous underwater vehicles. Unlike traditional submarines, these machines can operate independently for extended periods. They travel through the ocean collecting data, mapping terrain, and investigating regions rarely visited by humans. As technology improves, such vehicles will likely play an even greater role in exploration. Future generations may deploy fleets of robotic explorers across the world's oceans. Working together, they could investigate vast areas far more efficiently than ever before. Some scientists believe the deep sea may even help guide the search for life beyond Earth. Certain environments beneath the ocean resemble conditions that might exist on distant moons and planets. Hydrothermal vent ecosystems, in particular, have attracted significant interest. If life can flourish in complete darkness beneath Earth's oceans, perhaps similar forms of life could exist elsewhere in the universe. The lessons learned from deep-sea exploration may therefore extend far beyond our own planet. Yet, as exploration advances, new responsibilities also emerge. The deep ocean is not only a place of discovery, it is also a place of great ecological importance. Many deep-sea ecosystems are fragile. Some species grow slowly and may require decades or centuries to recover from disturbances. Scientists increasingly emphasize the importance of understanding these environments before making major decisions that could affect them. Exploration and conservation must work together. Protecting the ocean's hidden wonders ensures future generations can continue learning from them. The future of deep-sea exploration will therefore depend on both innovation and stewardship. Technology will help us reach new places. Science will help us understand them. Wisdom will help us protect them. Together, these efforts may reveal extraordinary discoveries in the years ahead. Perhaps new species will be found. Perhaps new ecosystems will be identified. Perhaps entirely new geological features remain waiting in the darkness. The possibilities are endless. And that is what makes the deep sea so captivating. Even now, there are mysteries waiting beyond the reach of our knowledge. There are questions yet to be answered. There are discoveries yet to be made. The ocean continues to invite exploration. It continues to inspire curiosity. And it continues to remind us that wonder still exists in the world. As our final journey through the deep sea draws to a close, imagine yourself floating peacefully above the vast ocean. The surface stretches endlessly toward the horizon. Far below, hidden beneath miles of water, lie mountains, trenches, coral gardens, shipwrecks, and countless forms of life. The darkness remains, the mysteries remain, and the adventure continues. Somewhere in the depths, discoveries are waiting for the next explorer, the next scientist, the next generation. And perhaps, one day, those discoveries will reveal secrets we cannot yet imagine. Thank you for joining this journey through the deep sea. From the silent trenches to the glowing creatures of the darkness, from lost ships to future exploration, it has been a privilege to travel with you. Until our next adventure, rest well, sleep peacefully, and thank you for spending these quiet hours with Night Empires.